Hello you! How we doing folks? It's Sunday night and we're back once again for your listening delight. With apologies to our buddy Will Medina, who might jump in at some point for this call, we don't know. But that's my bad. I've had internet issues, but I'm here nevertheless a wee bit later than normal. And it's a third Doctor outing for the Companion Chronicles and Katy Manning and the lovely Joe Grant, or the batshit crazy, or the mindfuckery in the case of Jake. Joe Grant and the many deaths of Joe Grant. We have a third Doctor Companion Chronicle here, straight after the events of the three Doctors. Doctor has the flying capabilities of his TARDIS back, and what we have essentially here is Joe Grant's interpretation of Heaven Sent, whereby never mind the fact that she dies multiple times, it's 412. It's many scenarios, and we have a mysterious guy in an astronaut suit to boot. What do we think about this tune? Well, you're about to find out. Before we get to that, let's get to this. It's the fellas who did show up this evening, again, with our apologies to our buddy Will, who had apparently missed this call due to my ineptness. Joining us from Tottenham, it's Phil. How are you doing, Phil?
Hello, one and all.
Good to see you, mate. Yes, Philip met the 13th Doctor yesterday, folks, and apparently he might not be gay anymore.
No, I think I'm going to be wanting to...
Yeah, there you go. Joining another person about the 13th Doctor yesterday is Jake. How are you doing, Jake?
I'm doing fine. Welcome to my dominion.
There you go. Yeah, hello you. Joining us from Mass, it's Sue. How are you doing, Sue?
I'm just peachy keen, thanks.
Yeah, that's good to know, mate. That's good to know. Good to see you, mate. All the way from Thunder. He has the Thunder. He's from down under. It's AJ in the Monday morning. How are you doing, AJ?
Oh, hello there. How are you? Good, thanks.
See you, mate. All the way from the bowels of hell. He has a beard that must be feared. And joining his Sunday off, it's Texas Tim Mills. How are you doing, Timbo?
Hello.
Good to see you, mate. And who have I missed? All the way from the inner sanctum. Kieran, how are you doing, buddy? It's been a while. How are you getting on?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
good to have you
for having
back,
me
mate. You're always welcome anytime you're available. Good to have you back. And of course, you all know me. Our buddy Will, who would have been here, isn't here because of my ineptitude and my internet is shit. So we apologise to him. He may pop in, but I doubt it. So, the many deaths of Joe Grant. We have a tale here slap bang in the middle of the run of the original Companion Chronicles. We have Katy Manning doing a great impression of not just Joe Grant, but John Pertwee's dearly departed third Doctor. And I can only describe this by a phrase coined by our own Jake here, #mindfuckery. And with that end, Jake, your opening thoughts on the many deaths of Joe Grant, #mindfuckery.
I loved this story. Joe went through it all in this particular story. They should have called it The Many Mindfucks of Joe Grant. She went through it all, the poor
That was a porno version.
And Katy Manning gave such a good performance. And I think this has to be the best Companion Chronicle I've listened to, which really gives the companions emotion and how they're feeling. You can feel it, if that makes sense. And it was such a good emotive story, especially near the end. The end really got to me. Amazing story, and that's my thoughts for the week.
Thank you, dearie. I'm glad you had a good time meeting our Jodie. Sue, get over it. What do you reckon?
Ro was a total bastard. Oh my gosh, I can't believe
Rowan?
it.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Ro kidnapped her, stuck her in a machine, tied her, and of course Katy is brilliant. So she went through all the emotions and all of the trials and all the tribulations. And this guy Ro, he's got to go, you know?
Okay, thank you. AJ, sorry to have you upselling, mate, and my apologies for the delay. What do you reckon?
That's right. I didn't mind this story. It felt very almost New Who a little bit in its.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I thought so. Like, you know, with Martha and Rose, you know, like with the many mindfucks they had to go through in their time. But it was a good story, and it could have been a classic series episode or a new series episode, but it was really well written, but even better, well acted. Like, I could actually feel the emotion when her heart was slowing down as she was describing everything and dying
Okay.
in at least 2 scenarios.
Okay, fair does, mate. Fair does. Kieran, good to have you back after a long hiatus, mate. What do you reckon? The Many Deaths of Joe Grant, opening thoughts?
Well, I found The Many Deaths of Joe Grant to be a really enjoyable adventure, a story that you can very much see fitting in to the 70s era with such ease. The plot to the story was fairly decent, nothing too groundbreaking.
Yep.
I really do like the concept for this story, with each ending showcasing how, like, Joe dying in different circumstances. I thought that was very unique and very much experimental. I did find the ending to be a bit of a letdown, but putting that to one side, it is a fairly decent story. The score...
Just to pick you up on your conjecture with the ending, what, too predictable?
Sorry?
Too predictable with regards to the ending?
Yeah, it was a little bit, I would say. I mean, oh, sorry, yeah, go on. No, it's fine.
No, you go, mate. Sorry, my apologies. There you go.
No, it's fine. The score and sound effects for the story, I think, are in top form because, in my opinion, I feel it added an emotional impact that really adds more depth, I feel.
Yep.
And the directed by Lisa Bowerman is pretty impressive as always.
Yes, if our buddy Will was here, he would be smiling from ear to ear. Lisa Bowerman, she's the mama when it comes to Big Finish Audio and the Companion Chronicle range, and with regards to our old man and going home and rubbing liniment oil on him every night, there you go.
Can I just say something about Katy Manning?
On you go, yep.
Katy Manning in this story was very good. She gets a chance to showcase her voicing acting talent. Her mannerisms are first class throughout the story. It's the fact that she puts so much effort, love, fun, and affection into her performance, which makes it so pleasing to listen to. And I would even go as far as to say this is up there with some of Katy Manning's best performances that she's done for Big Finish Productions. She's got a talented vocal range, and I will admit that she doesn't sound like the Doctor or the Brigadier, but her interpretation of it was enough for me just to sit back and let it all sink in. Through that interpretation, I could picture the Doctor and the Brigadier inside my mind.
To be fair, she never has and never will try to sound like the Doctor, John Pertwee, or the Brigadier, Nick Courtney. But for the sake of these stories, she does a bang-up job. And,
I agree.
You know, it's hindsight, and it's... Yeah, she's batshit crazy, but she's lovable. Timbo, The Many Deaths of Joe Grant, what do you reckon?
Well, the title is bait, isn't it?
Yeah, it's real bait, yeah.
Yeah. But I agree with Kieran that I think it's not as clever as it tried to be. I think the ending was a bit of just a small letdown. Otherwise, it's a great story, and as already mentioned, you got a lot of great performance out of her playing all these parts, and you forget that you're listening to one person, and if somebody can do that, then that's awesome. Then you feel like it's almost a full cast story. But yeah, I think the story was good up to a point. I too was a little bit let down by the ending. I think it could have been. It wasn't as clever as it was trying to be. I think it was, and it's not that it was bad at all. I expected it to be a bit more mindfuckery, as Jake would say. I thought it would be a little more convoluted or something. It was a bit too on the nose, I think, is what it is. But otherwise, it was great.
Okay, I'll give you that. I enjoyed the hell out of this. At the same time, the resolution at the end, when you found out that it was all the work of a big bad fucking machine, that's a trope that's been done countless times. But at the same time, Katy Manning pulled it off, and she gave you a no bad story for about an hour and 15 minutes here. The whole being trapped in a pod or an isolation chamber or a machine of some type has been done to death, but they've done it in a way here whereby they still made it interesting for an hour and a half, an hour and 15-minute story. So you can't really grumble. Would it have been the way I chose to do it? No. But at the same time, it's a story they chose to tell. So, hey, it's a laugh. What can you do? Give it a listen. and move on. Any events or characters that stood out for you? Timbo, didn't stand it, mate?
Well, Sue made a good point that guy was a real bastard. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
that was very cruel what he did to her. But I would say the bit when the doctor shows up in the suit and when she reaches out to grab his hand, she feels the velvet of his of his usual gear. So that was kind of crazy but cool.
There you go. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, the whole when you're in the whole mindscape thing and you have someone that's familiar. Very good point. AJ, anything stand up for you, mate?
Yeah, I like the imagery of the astronaut. Basically, you know, the doctor being a spaceman and subconsciously
Avatar, I believe. Yeah.
Joe created him subconsciously as a spaceman. Thought that was pretty cool. Also, I'm just amazed the doctor wasn't absolutely furious that him and Joe had to go through so many deaths.
412, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, like I know they weren't real and all that, but that, you know, in your mind, you do so much.
He actually made the deal. He made the fucking deal with the guy. You're like, what, really?
Yeah, that's what's confounding, because the third Doctor was always really quite brusque when it came to certain things like that, wasn't he?
Very true.
So yeah.
All right. Jake, anything stand out for you, man?
When I listen to this story, you can really tell that Katy Manning really loves the character of Joe. And I love the writing between the Joe and the Doctor in this story. Even though she's never going to be a good jumper, I'll give what Kieran said. You can tell who she's meant to be. It builds up the same feeling as a 70s story. You've got the the Brigadier marching into his office going, this is happening, blah, 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 with the Doctor. It's quite a 70s feeling. You can imagine it being in the after three Doctor thing. And there's a scene, I think it's at the end, between her and the Doctor. Before it actually ends, there's quite an emotive little bit between the two, which I really enjoyed.
All right.
It's a really good story, and I'm not usually one who likes things like Companion Chronicle.
Okay.
But I really did enjoy it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, mate. Kieran, anything stand up for you, mate?
I mean, I feel the moments where Jo is willing to give up her life to save the Doctor in all those different scenarios, that she and him are some lovely scenes, and it really does show what a strong female character Jo is. I just love those moments. They really do get the best out of Jo.
Very, very, very admirable indeed. Yeah, good call. Sue?
Yeah, well, I thought the role was really amazing in his devilry. He convinced her that he was all these other different characters, a corporal, and he really, you know, he really snaked them. And anyway, that was incredible. And I liked the bits where, you know, where the Brigadier was described and how she interpreted him. Right. And did you miss Phil on the first time around?
No, I'm going to get to he's next. All
right.
Okay.
Thank you. Philip, you're up.
Yes, well, first things first, my impression of the story, it was very good, very interesting. You know what I did? I did like the fact of the little baby thing the Doctor turns up with in the first place. Yep. The little kind of creature thing. I kind of like the idea that it's only part of a whole, because they're the same kind of creatures, but the other ones are like battle droid type ones. So the description of them was very kind of alarming when you compare it to the little baby thing.
What was the name of them?
I can't remember now. I tried to say it in my head and I can't remember what the name is.
It had the infant in his possession, didn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
Right, and the fact that they live as part of a machine construct.
Yeah.
Is quite a good idea. Anything that stood out for me, I kind of like the battle, the bits where the Doctor's trying to get the away from the battle to Bessie, and Joe's trying to help along, and they get shot, sort of like towards a combination of that. So I did like that. It's a good story. And I would recommend it, to be honest.
Okay, thanks, mate. And my apologies for missing you on the first time round there. With regards to myself, I enjoyed it. Like Kieran, Tim, and a few others, I would say that the resolution was a bit weak. That doesn't detract for the fact that Katy Manning was fucking phenomenal in this. The alien threat, you get the trope, the alien concept after one of its young. All right, we've seen that before, but at the same time, it's a case of, hey, it's an hour and 15 minutes. It's not a bad outing. And once you hear it, it's a case of, well, the initial first events of the story actually happened. It's only when you get to the second and third onward that you realise that it's in the mindscape and the whole mind manipulation device of the alien threat. So it's interesting. It keeps you going, and Katy Manning does a bang-up job as both narrator Joe and the late great Tom Pertwee, because this is obviously before we enlist the talents of Tim Treloar, who is doing the Third Doctor adventure right now. So yeah, good outing for an hour and 15 minutes. It might be for you. Get a bash and let us know what you think. Leave your comments below. Not that we get any, but feel free to leave some. And with that, any event, with that,
it's the open mic portion of the
thank you, Tim. It's been a long day and I've been drinking. Okay, open mic portion of the cast. Anything that stands out or you would like to divulge for you? In the absence of Will from NYC, AJ, anything stand out for you, mate?
Yeah, in the scenario with the spaceship where she was like hurtling towards a planet or whatever it was, and the course was locked, why didn't you just reverse the thrusters? That's the one thing that's
very good point. The only thing I can assume for that is the fact that you had that robot ready, primed and able to shoot. Yeah, that's a very good point. Timbo, anything for you, mate?
No, I think we've covered it all pretty much.
All right, fair dues. Kieran, anything, last gasp, that's for yourself, mate? With regards to this deal?
Yeah, like I said, it's like I've already pretty much covered what I've said, but yeah, it is a great, enjoyable tale, a fantastic piece for Joe Grant, and one that really homages back to the Pertwee era. Very
good, mate. Very good, and I concur. Sue, what say you?
I will give this
not narrating, just
other stuff. Okay, well, yeah, Katy Manning, directed by Lisa Bowerman, is a dynamic, powerful thing, and so I'm a really big fan of that. I love Iris Wildtime and stuff.
Okay, Chuck. Yes, we can kill.
Can I say that as much as
I was going to get to you, but now you've opened your mouth. Continue.
We did say this was the open mic portion of the cast. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. Can I say that as much as everybody said this is a very emotional story for Joe and the Doctor and everything, I still think it doesn't beat Find and Replace in that regard for emotional impact. But
hang on, you say what?
I said it doesn't beat Find and Replace for emotional impact.
Okay, well, we'll get to that, but that's a very good analogy.
Yeah. Okay.
Jake, whatever.
The bit where Joe gets shot and you start hearing a heartbeat every time she dies, you hear the ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Oh, love that, because it really put you in the scene with her, like that was you in her place, sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's a really nifty way to do it. Sound design wise, it's really good for sound design, I thought. But yeah, and then when they were mentioning all the other deaths that seemed, like being shrunk by
your own, yeah,
crushed by an ice warrior. I really like those bits as well. But as I said earlier, it was a really good story.
Yeah, thanks, mate. And I would concur with that. If you took out the fact that it was a different death every time, this is essentially Joe Grant's version of Heaven Sent. It's essentially, how many times can I die? How many times can I describe it? And in the case of Katy Manning, how many times can I make it sound fucking epic? And she done a bang-up job here. You can't really grumble. The villain of Rowan, Will's not here to give the cast list, but the fella who played...
Hang on, I just had him. It's,
Nicholas Asbury.
Thank you, AJ. Nicholas Asbury. He's the second actor in this two-hander, and he does a bang-up job as every single avatar of Rowan, whether it's the private in the case of Unit, whether it's the
alien commander,
whether it's the alien in charge of the ship who's crashing into the planet. You know, every aspect of Rowan, even the guy who was willing to sacrifice her to the alien god who ended up devouring her 2 or 3 stories down the line, is a very good job, so you can't really grumble. Excellent outing for Katy Manning here. And with that, guys, after the open mic portion of the cast is done, and in the absence of Will, due to my fucking ineptitude of the internet, it's that time again. And there's nobody here for a quick snappy fucking retort. So...
It's time to...
For a cup of coffee.
Thank you, Tim.
Have some tea.
Grind your beans.
might be
The Many Deaths of Joe Grant, the Companion Chronicles season, I forgot what season it was, but yeah. It's the Companion Chronicles, and we're on a countdown now. The Third Doctor, Katy Manning. Okay, Kieran, what?
Great. It's season 6, episode 4. Whoa.
Thank you for the information, Phil. Much obliged. Kieran, what do you use out of 10, buddy?
A really good story, highly recommended. Probably a hidden gem out of the Companion Chronicle range.
I would agree. Yep.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Thank you, mate. An absolute score. Susan, what say you?
I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Thank you.
Sweet. Actually, 9.5.
Oh, for God's sake. 9.5? AJ, what say you?
Yeah, it's an 8 out of 10 for me. Solid writing, solid acting, solid directing, just solid.
Thank you, mate.
As a rock.
Excellent. Timbo, what's the number from Techio?
I'll go with an 8.5.
Admiral account, thank you. Jake, what's the number, mate?
9.5 from the mindfuck machine.
9.5 for the mindfuckery, yes. Okay. Yeah. And Philip, who is very excited. What do you recommend?
I'm going to give this a 9 because it's a good story and it does evoke early Unit stories for me. You can picture it in your head and it plays out well.
Thank you, mate. And I will concur with our buddy from Texas. I'll give us an 8.5 out of 10. Not a bad outing. And for a Companion Chronicle, #mindfuckery. So you might want to listen to it more than once. And with that done, dusted in the can, again, my apologies to our buddy Will Medina, who is probably online waiting for this call, but my internet was a complete and utter bitch. So we'll hopefully have him back next week. And with regards to next week, it only leaves us to divulge what we're doing next week. We don't actually know because...
we've got round to discussing it, so... We've
not got around to discuss it, no. So it will be a Tom Bacon number. We will clarify it off air, and we will get back to you with regards to what it is. So we apologise for that. See what I'm drinking all day? Fuck they buy. Places to get our buddies in the wonderful wackety world of the YouTube. You've got the guys in Dog the Geeks assembled. You've got with their audio head movie and TV show reviews. You've got Dr. Freedom, his Omega Fells, his news broadcast, and the adventures of Dr. Freedom and Eric. You've got Johnny Blues, Mike Shannon, Sammy Carter, whatever they're online. Like, share, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down. And with that, be excellent to yourself and each other, folk, and we'll see you next week. And remember, Preacher is maybe coming to a close, but Lucifer has begun filming again. So, fuck you, folks. With that, we're on out of here and fuckity bye.